Morning, everybody. Coach Jason here from Top Line Running. Hope you're doing well. So, workout progression to help you get from where you're at right now, which is kind of the end of the summer, or approaching the end of the summer, to the beginning parts of cross country. I talked to a lot of people, and a lot of them are doing hard sessions already, really speed-oriented things. And that may not be the most ideal thing to do at this point. So, I want to give you a couple of other options, okay? And this is stuff that I've used with athletes at high school and college level to kind of transition from what you're doing towards the more aggressive training in cross country. And like I've broken up summer training. If you've seen any of my videos, you'll see we spend June building your mileage. We had speed development in July, and we had a tempo or threshold effort session weekly in August to the speed development and so on. So a different stimulus each month. That way, by the time cross country season comes, you're ready to race. You're ready to transition to the more intense part of training. Okay, without being way ahead of yourself. Okay, without essentially peaking too early, because that does happen to a lot of people who either do too much hard training too early on in the summer or race way too often. So, but that's a completely different discussion. So, but I'm going to give you a couple slides. And again, if you're a coach or an athlete, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Please do. Okay, and hit your notification buttons as well. That way, when I go live, you'll know when I go live. You can ask any question you want. I've got 600 videos here. Okay, and when I put new videos out, you'll be at the front of the line when that comes in. So I thank you so much. We're trying to get to 5,000 subs by the end of the year if we can. Your support means the world. So, and I thank you for it. So again, we're talking about cross-country workouts to transition from late summer to the early fall. Okay, this is an important part of cross-country training. And again, think of a 12-week cross-country season. Okay, that's why I think about it. 4 weeks, 4 weeks, 4 weeks. That's kind of how I lay out the training. So these are a couple workouts now. We'll start the high school level first. Okay, high school boys and girls. They're all training for 5K, right? So keep that in mind. They're both training for the same distance. Now, obviously, you want to do a good workout and a good warm-up, good drills and strides, and even a couple of transitional piece 200s, which is to help you find the pace of the workout that you're going to do. Here is just a couple little pieces. First, you do a 1,200-meter effort after your warm-up and your drills and strides and what. 1,200-meter effort threshold pace, okay? It could be tempo pace as well. You take a 5-minute active recovery. That's going to elevate your heart rate and get you ready to transition to the more aggressive part of the workout. Next up, you can do a 1,200-meter rep at race pace, your 5K race pace, okay? Then you take a 4-minute recovery. And then on the back end, you just do 4 times 600 meters. If you have a flat area or a track nearby, you do that there, okay? You take a 2-minute recovery after the 600-meter efforts, and you progress from 5K pace to 3K pace. But the key part here is the threshold piece and the race pace piece, okay? Now, the next time you do it, which could be a week from then, you increase it from 1,200 to 1,600. And then you do a 1,600-meter rep at threshold. Take the same 5-minute recovery. Then you do a 1,600-meter rep at race pace, just one of them, okay? Take a 4-minute active recovery. And then you do 5 times a 500 with a 90-second recovery, progressing also from 5K pace to 3K pace. So each segment of the workout gets a little bit faster, okay? But again, you're just doing piece by piece. Instead of doing 3 to 4 hard mile repeats right now, where you might not be ready to do that, this helps you transition to the more aggressive stuff that's going to come, okay? And then you can bump it up again the week after that. Week 3, a 2K rep at threshold pace, and at threshold or tempo. You take a 5-minute active recovery, and then a 2K rep at race pace, okay? Take a 4-minute active recovery, and then 6 times a 400-meter effort with a 60-second recovery at 3K pace here. So as the threshold and race pace rep get longer, the shorter reps on the back end get shorter, okay? Help you, and again, they gradually get faster too. So again, the whole point of this workout is to give you a piece at threshold, a piece at race pace, and then transition to something shorter and faster on the back end. And again, you can transition towards multiple 1,200-meter reps over time, right? Multiple 1,600-meter reps over time, multiple 2K reps over time, and so on. This is a transitional piece. And you can do it in over a 3-week cycle too. If you race on Saturday or Friday, this is a great workout to do every Tuesday for the first 3 Tuesdays of the month. Just a thought, okay? So this is for high school boys and girls. Now, let's move over to collegiate women, okay, who train for 5K and 6K. And again, always a good warm-up, drills and strides, a couple 200s to find the pace of the workout. So here, now you start with a 1,200 threshold again. Take a 5-minute active recovery, 1200 at goal race pace. Okay. Now the parts on the back end are a little bit longer than they are for in high school. Now you're going from the threshold and the race pace rep to 4 times an 800 now with a 2-minute recovery. Then you progress from 5K pace to 3K pace. Okay. Then you go from that to 1600 meter rep at threshold. Same thing, 5-minute recovery, 1600 meter rep at race pace, 4-minute recovery. And then you go to 5 times 600 with a 200 meter jog. You progress from 5K pace to 3K pace. Okay. And then lastly, week 3, you bump up to 2K at threshold, just one of them. Take a 5-minute active recovery and then 1 2K rep at race pace, 4-minute recovery, and then 8 times the 400 on the back end, times 60-second recovery at 5K pace down 3K pace. So again, the back end reps get shorter as the front end reps get longer, okay? But you're setting yourself up to transition into, again, 1,000 meter reps, 1,000 meter repeats times 6, 1,200 meter repeats times 5, 1,600 repeats by times 3 or 4. I mean, that's what you're going to be training for in cross country, right? So this type of stuff helps you get there over time. And again, helps also set you up so that you're not too sharp too soon in the season. Then you can transition how you like to after this. This is a good way to start for collegiate women. Now, let's go to collegiate men. We're training for 8K and 10K. Okay? Now you can see the volume is a little bit different here. Again, always a good warm-up. Drills and strides and everything, transitional 200s. The 1600 meter rep now with threshold. We started the longer rep at threshold. Just one. Take a 5-minute recovery, and then you do a 1600 meter rep at race pace. So basically, if you're looking around 25 minutes for 8K, that 1600 meter threshold pace is going to be anywhere probably 530 to 540, and then you're going to transition to the 600 meter rep at race pace. You're going to be looking around 455 to 5 minutes. Okay, and then on the back end, after that 4-minute recovery, you do 4 times an 800. You progress from 5K pace to 3K pace. Okay, then you move to the longer rep, 1.5 miles at threshold, or 6 laps on the track, 2,400 meters. Okay, take a 5-minute active recovery, and then you do 1.5 miles at race pace, time with a 4-minute recovery. And then you do 5 times the 600 on the back end with a 200 meter jog, going from 5K pace down to 3K pace. Okay, back end reps getting shorter, front end reps getting longer. And lastly, 2 miles at threshold. You take a 5-minute active recovery. If you need another minute or two, take another minute or two. Then you do 2 miles at race pace. Okay, so for those, again, looking to run 25 minutes, that 2 miles should be in 9:55 to 10 minutes. And at this point, if you had run over the summer, you should be fit enough to run at least one of these. Okay, that's a good testament to your fitness coming back into the season in shape. Okay, so you 2 mile race pace, 4-minute active recovery, and then 8 times the 400 on the back end with a 90-second recovery, or 60-second recovery, 5K pace down to 3K pace. Okay, so you get progressively faster throughout the workout. But you're doing it in a way where you're increasing the reps of the long stuff. Okay, and again, I said this a lot. You can do the same workout, you can do it faster, or you can cut recovery, or you can add volume to the workout that you're already doing at the same pace. That's another sign of increased fitness. And here, at the beginning part of cross country, this is the time to go over distance if you can. You can do that with threshold reps and tempos and so on, right? And this is also a good time to set yourself up to get into the more intense stuff, which tends to come in October during cross country. The races get a little bit more aggressive. People go out harder, and you can set up your workouts accordingly. And at that point, you'll be at the point where you can start being more aggressive with your training, especially in a more voluminous way, and transition towards the harder, more aggressive stuff at the end of the season to get you ready to run your best races when it counts the most in November, some cases December. Okay, so these are the transition workouts. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you enjoyed this, hit the thumbs up if you find it helpful. My email address is blackbeltrunningcoach@gmail.com. Again, blackbeltrunningcoach@gmail.com. Okay, not only I'm a former competitive runner and a running coach of the last 2 decades, but I'm also a long-time martial artist. That's why my email is blackbeltrunningcoach@gmail.com. So hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, reach out to me in email. Okay, let me know if these things make sense to you. And I have these laid out in training programs so you can see what it would look like, some of the training programs. So I encourage you to go back and look at my cross-country training programs that I have on this channel, high school and college level, and you can see how things are kind of laid out accordingly. And you can see the progression each month, how it gets a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more intense when the athletes are ready to do that. Okay. So have a great day, everybody. Have a great cross country season. Talk to you soon.